Good morning. Is it working? Happy Friday. Friday already, thank God it's Friday. TGIF. Come on in. It's the Shack. Early to the party. Ooh, 3 minutes to 10, always before 10. Come on in. Can you hear me all right? It's jumper time. It's quite fresh here. Quite fresh here today in sunny East Sussex, in sunny Crowborough. Good morning, Jackie. How are you? How is everybody? Come on in, grab a seat. We've had to put the heating on today. Pencils at the ready. Hey? Pencils at the ready. We seem to have rolled from the mandalas into the seasons, which I quite like. Hey, don't you? So let's have a look, shall we? I need to just clean my nails quickly. I've been doing inky artwork, and it, you know, when you get all, shouldn't really do it under the table. Come on in. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Judith. Lovely to have your company. Beautiful day today here. Where are you? Where are you, safe, happy and creative? Hey, where are you? Do you know that this is our number 123? 123. That's how many hours we've hung out together now. That's quite a lot when you string them all together. That's like going on holiday together. Have you enjoyed the mandalas? What do you think? Stuart, yeah, just let me know. Sound is good, because I've got it up here now. I put a jumper on. It was freezing at 6 o'clock this morning. Really cold. What about where you are? What's the weather like? Sunny? Cold? Fresh? The temperature has definitely dropped here in England, in the south. Hasn't it? Eh? Linda Williams, are you in Wales? Well, I know you're in Wales because you're in lockdown. Are you listening? Are you watching? Is it raining? That's always a standing joke between Linda and myself. It's always raining, it seems, when we speak in Wales. Always seems to rain in Wales. And yet when we went down to stay with Shona and Mike Bossum last year, which was beautiful, a week with our friends Shona and Mike, the weather was beautiful the whole week, like glorious, in Glog, Pembrokeshire. Beautiful. What a beautiful part of the world. Who'd go abroad when you've got that on your doorstep? Who'd go abroad when you've got that on your doorstep? Mind you, I bet the Welsh won't thank us lot for turning up now. They're not allowed to leave the house. And then all the Londoners turn up because they got to get away. I don't think so. No, I think we're best just stay where we are at the moment, eh? Safe, happy and creative. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Sue. Good to have your company. Come on in. Stuart's with us in the building today. It's 10 o'clock. If you've got any questions, please direct them at Stuart. He's your man today. Welcome to the Shack. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. That's right. That's what we're going to do today. And we meet every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, don't we? At 10 o'clock, as regular as clockwork. For the first few months, for the first half a year, after from March, we met every day, didn't we? Monday to Friday. And now, because we realise we're going to be going for a little bit longer with this pandemic, we decided to play the long game and meet up every other day. And that seems to suit us all, doesn't it? It certainly suits me. I was able to have a really good meeting at work yesterday with the crew, with the teams. Yeah, it was good. Really productive. 8 hours. Yeah, 8-hour meeting. That's a long meeting. That's a long meeting. I'll never stop talking. I had a lot to say. It was all about what they call it, the roadmap. There you go. The Clarity Roadmap. Had to be talked about. Got some brilliant things. Brilliant things came up, you know. Little changes, tweaking this, inventing that. Yeah, it's nice. It's a good team. Very good team. And so today, what are you doing this weekend? Today, I'm hanging out with my friends here in the SHAC for an hour, and then I'm going over to Mum and Dad's. That's my Friday. I'm going to hang out with my parents. That's as it should be today. I'm very lucky that I can. And I do it with a spring in my step. There you go. I got all their shopping delivered here because Mum doesn't like the delivery thing. So I got it delivered here, and now I'm going to be the deliverer. It works if you work it, doesn't it? Right, we're ready to doodle. Are you ready to doodle? You so love the mandalas. I do too. I really have enjoyed the mandalas. Let's have a look at what we've done. Let's have a look at what we've done and where we're headed, because again, with the 4 seasons in the centres, that's a whole other doodle project all of itself, you know. And it's not like we'll bang them out and, you know, let's take it easy, let's develop our art skills, let's hang out and let's do something that we're enjoying. I really actually enjoy these little miniature button, these little pictures of spring and summer. Shall we have a look? Right, so, well, that was what we were doing. Let's have a look. What have I got here? Okay. I threw everything in the cupboard. This is that wheel. This is, if you haven't got this yet, this is how we created the mandala. Have I got the right bucket? Oh, here they are. Right, see? These are the mandalas that we're talking about. There. So you need this, don't you? And then what we did was we built up. What glasses have I got on? Let's change my glasses. Oh, that's better. There you go. So the theory is that we built up this. If you missed this, then by all means go to the Wednesday and Monday and the last couple before this one, and you'll see how we built this up. What you do need though is to ask Stuart for the link for this wheel. Lucy designed this. I talked to her yesterday. I said, you know, that wheel is amazing what you've done. And I said, was that just, I said, it doesn't matter what I do, it seems to sit perfectly. I said, was that just luck or actually calculated? And she smiled and said, it was funny because one of the other girls was there, Leanne, she said, lie loose, lie loose. Lucy said, actually, I did work it out. Lie loose. Honestly, they do make me laugh. So now what we're doing is a bit in the middle. But having said, I know why I put this in, because I'd mentioned that if you did the mandala, but you came in on the wheel a little bit more, I mean, that would be one hell of a faux gem, wouldn't it? But I said, if you came in, say to the third one out, that'd be a nice size, or the second one would be a bit small, you see, then you could add these, couldn't you? Look, well, that looked delightful. I mean, just precious, eh? But you'd have to come in a bit more with your mandala pattern. Right, so that's why I put that there, that's why I put that there, little recap, and then we've got these. Right, now somewhere in this pile, I've got the season. Do you remember them? God, yeah. Here they are. I've done my homework, but, oh yeah, there we are. And this one was the whole driver, wasn't it? To do this partial art mandala, I thought would be really nice. And we've got our sheep. I abandoned the sheep. Bloody rubbish. And so I thought, right, today, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I suggested that on Wednesday we did that lovely tree, didn't we? And we said be pedantic about the tree because the tree is the centerpiece. And then what we'll do is we'll wrap the seasons around the tree. So you know, as the seasons roll through, it's like the same shot, same camera, right? But then as the seasons pass, the tree changes and the scene changes. So I'll show you what I came up with, and then we'll have a go, shall we? The seasons are changing as we sit and watch, aren't they? Time is rolling on. I have got these, I did do these 4. Oh, look, I need a new book of trace. I've used a whole block of tracing paper. Wow. Oh, great. I need a new one. Okay. that can be sorted. Right, so what we've got then is these circles. I've done 4 for one for each season. And the idea is, hang on, let me get my copy paper underneath. I've been up here preparing for ages, and then when I hit record, then it all goes to pop. Right, we need this underneath here. Right, we're ready to rock and roll. Shall we have a look at the seasons? That's what I wanted to show you. So the first one that I did was spring, right? So I thought we could have a look. Let's get a bit closer because you can't really see these. I'll bring the camera in a minute. Let's have a look at spring. See what I did. Okay, so in spring, I decided to plough the fields. Okay, so I ploughed the fields. I put 2 little bunnies and 2 little chicks in the nest. And then I just put kind of, I don't know, leaves, and the trees are just starting to blossom, just starting to break. You know, the leaves. Do you not find that? I find every year I look at the trees and you can see them budding. They're just starting, and then the next day you wake up and the transition it seems to happen overnight, doesn't it? You watch and watch and watch, and then all of a sudden there it is, all green. You know, fantastic, really. Nature, isn't nature wonderful, boo boo? Right, so that's spring. I know, because I wrote it up there. Right, and then we've got summer. Okay, now summer, I went for it. I thought about this quite a long time, really. In the summer one, look, let's have a look. I just put really big, beautiful, bold flowers at the front, and then I completely filled the tree with leaves. I mean, you could put apples in, couldn't you? And then the ploughed field, I've got the hay bales, see, in the back. And I thought, that's nice. That's definitely a summer tree. I mean, there's still, everybody, it's your art. You'll come up with other ideas, but I thought it'd be nice to just spend a little time doing this. Right, so that's that one. And then we've got, this is autumn. Right, let's have a look at autumn. So autumn, yeah, the jury's out on autumn. I had so many ideas, and then nothing came to light. So I'm sort of we won't do it today. We won't get to autumn today. But there's the tree, and what the idea in my head was that you got birds in flight migrating. You've got the sun, the sun going down. You've got the birds watching their mates fly away to warmer climes. I put a couple of toadstools in. They look a bit ropey. I took all the leaves off the tree and dumped them at the bottom by the fence. See? Yeah, toadstools need a bit of work on them, but that's okay. It's a rolling masterpiece. Okay, and then the fourth one, where are we? Was the winter one. Right, so winter, this is nice. Easy, this one. Snow. Look, but I reckon that you'll come up with fabulous ideas. You've got more time than me anyway. I think you have anyway. See, so I put some snow on the fence. Put a couple of little wobbins in there. It is perky, they said. It is very, very cold now. But again, you know, it's like, how much do you want to put in? Do you want to crowd it up? Or, because they're only little, aren't they? They're only little tiny centerpieces. And this is the sketch, remember? This is, we've got to ink this up as well, so bear that in mind. Make it too busy, it just gets blobby, doesn't it? Right, so now you've seen what we're up to, let's have a little sip of tea. This polypropylene tea that I've got to now drink because I will refuse to throw it all away. Yeah. How are you? All right? It's weekend. Got any plans? Are the leaves coming down yet? Have we got to start raking? I just spoke to Jim, and it's his birthday the day after my mum. So mum is next on Wednesday, 14th, and Jim's on Thursday. And he said, yeah, I know. When it gets to your mum's and my birthday, it just gets dark. That's what he said. It just gets dark. It's dark when you get to work. It's dark when you go home. Yeah. It's the season. That's what happens. You know? It's been a funny old year because we've all been locked in at home for the main part, haven't we? And we've just been watching the season pass us by, you know? Very strange. Very strange. So let's have a look. Shall we get going? And we'll see. What glasses shall I wear? I think we'll start with spring. Yeah? Shall we start with the spring? Let's roll it round from in order of the way that it's going. Shall we do that one? Right, so indulge me now. I've got my 4 circles. It won't take me 2 minutes to draw my tree in. But I had to think about this, and I thought what I'd like to do, because I know the tree is there now. I've got the tree. So what I'm going to do now is just draw it with you, and this is what you're going to do. You see, now you've got your masterpiece tree. What you can do is, you've got one, haven't you? But let me go in a bit closer. As you draw the different seasons, like when I did summer, I drew the leaves before I drew the tree. Do you see what I mean? I drew the leaves before I drew the tree. And when I did autumn, I drew the leaves on the floor before I drew the tree. So it saves me having to rub it all out. So it's just a question of, which one comes first. When you've got your scrap or your sketch, then you can work it out, can't you? So I've got my circle. Yeah? We're all right with this. And then I'm going to just tape it down so it doesn't move while I'm working. So I just take a bit of tape. Yeah, look, come on, join me. Join me while I add a bit of masking tape. I quite like jumper weather. Do you know what I mean? Jumper weather, I call it. I do. I like jumper weather. There's something cosy and comforting about it for me. Yeah, log fires. I got my nice coat out yesterday and wore it to work. For somebody who likes getting dressed up, I mean, not getting dressed, but dressing nicely. It's been 1 year, hasn't it? That's been one of the nicest things about the SHAC is that at least, I've been putting on my makeup and putting on a nice top. At least I've made that effort, even if I've only gone from the house to the garage for 6 months. Isn't it? Who'd have thought? I've gone through my entire wardrobe, pacing backwards and forwards across the garden path. I know. I'm not really mental. Right, come on. Here we go. So what I'm going to do though, because I don't want to lean on the work. I'm going to put my tree in first. Because the only thing that I'm going to add in the front, this is just if you fancy joining me, right? Let's go again. Did you do your tree? I saw some of your lovely artwork on, it doesn't take long to do this. I saw some of your lovely artwork on Clarity Worldwide Core. It's really lovely to see. I also saw some of you with your legs in the air. You two make me laugh. and then the husband's had to try and get you back up off the floor. You are so funny. It's a blooming good community we've got here, It is. It's a good crowd, isn't it? We don't take ourselves too seriously. That's how I feel about this. Do you see that as well? I think we all agree. Oh, there's a little bird there that I've just obliterated. Right, so I need to leave a little gap there for the bird. I'll leave a little gap there for the birdies, the bird's nest. So once I've got my tree in, right, and then I can put my leaves in. I don't want to have to recreate the whole thing, but I just want to show you. Let's put it's a photograph, so I want it to be the same in each snapshot, really. It's like a set piece, isn't it? So the fixed parts are these parts, aren't they? They don't move, okay? They stay where they are. The fence and the tree, they stay where they are. And everything else moves around it. That was my arty thought on this. Does that make sense? Cool, that trick's a bit dodgy. Right, let's have a look. And then I'll show you, we'll make the furrows in the, this is quite nice. Just do me a favour, just very lightly, right, along there. You probably, maybe you've already done it. Let's do this bit, like that. Okay. And you've got your little rabbits down there, we'll draw them as well. Right, so we're going to put the birds in, we're going to put the leaves in. Let me take my, all I need is the fixed bits. And every time I do a season, oh, excuse me, well, was I actually in view when I did that just then? I'm so close up, I apologise, I didn't even look at the screen. Was I even in? Oh well, it's too late now. Right, so what we'll do is, do you know what, I'm too far in. I'm too far in, you can't see what I'm doing. Let's come out a little bit. That's rubbish, Barbara. I've come in so far that you can't see what I'm actually playing at. Okay. I hope I was on the table then. Right, so now what I want to do is show you to get the perspective on the ploughed fields, right? So what we're going to do is, if you start in the middle and you come down like that, it's like sun rays. So they're further away in the background than they are in the front, right? So these are the little, these are the tram lines, if you like, that the farmers use when they're like with insecticide or pesticides or nutrients or irrigation of water or anything. They have these tram lines so that the wheels of the machines don't crush all the crops. You see, it's all computer generated nowadays, and they know exactly GTPR or GDPR or whatever it is. It's all, I can't remember what Dave said, but basically it's all calculated. And what I want you to do at the top, because as it goes over the field, it's not a straight line, is it? It's going to go in. It's like a little dip. So as it goes like that, go back over your line and make a little dip every time you get to one of the tram lines. Do you see what I'm doing? It's just a little dip, like a, it makes it look real, like actually as if it was. There's quite a lot of tram lines there. That'll do. And because we've splayed it out like that, you see, it looks right. So when we go to actually ink this one up, it will work really well. So that's easy. And then we'll do, should we do the little birdies? Did you actually have a practice with the little birds? So the idea, all I did was do a little, like a little cup like that, like a smile. And then I put a little bit of a, like twiggy thing like that. It's so tiny that you can't really see what it is, right? So a little cross that way and cross that way. So that looks like a, if you like, that looks like a nest, doesn't it? Let's pretend. And then inside, we're going to do a little, like a tulip, like a little tulip. Can you see that? And then it's got open mouth. So it's like a tulip, but it's got an open mouth. And those are the little birds. And give them a little eye. Bob's your uncle. That's all it is. So in large, if I was going to do it in large for you, right, then it's like that, if you like a tulip. And then the mouth, the beak is open like that. And then the eyes there. Now, it looks like rubbish when it's large, but when it's tiny, that's exactly what it looks like. Just great big open beak. Okay? Like that. You go like that, eye, two of them in the nest. Okie dokie? Come on then. Hang on. I've been really enjoying using those new stamps that we've got, the trees and their mantles. I've really, you know, on the subject of trees, I've really enjoyed them. They've been such a delight to use. I'll show you them in a minute. I just want to get this I want to get this nest in first. Everybody happy? We cool with this? So we're going to make a little smiley nest like that, and then let's do a little bit of hat, like cross that way, twiggy that way, twigs that way. There you go, already looks like, there you go, that'll do. Right, and then when we've done that, we'll put our 2 little tulip heads, 1, 2, and then beaks open. There you go, there they are. Perfect, they're in. And then we'll have Mum over here. She's had enough for one day. We'll just put Mum in. I did Mum, where did I put her? Oh yeah, she's quite nice. So again, come on, we've done loads of these birds, haven't we? So, like that, there she is. Little legs, little head, little beak. These are so tiny. This is a real skill in doing it tiny, isn't it? Yeah? So in she goes. She's on there. That's it. She's in. Could be Dad. Maybe Dad's had enough. Hang on, should we put Dad there as well? He's like, what have I done? There you go, little beak. There you go, he's looking as well. He's saying, your turn. There you go, get the beak. Right, okay, so we got the little chicks in the nest. Got Mum and Dad. Right, okay. We've done the fields, lovely. That'll do. Got rabbits as well to deal with. Should we do the rabbits as well? So as the seasons go round, we just have to find little things that kind of symbolise, yeah? So a little pair of rabbits, they're only little, they are small, okay? So let's see if we can, I'll do one there, and then I'll have a little one leaning in, like that. So they're just going to be like so. And then we'll give them little tails. There you go. Got their little fluffy tails. I need to lean on there. Needs a head. Definitely needs a head. That looks a bit weird now. Head. Head. Ah, love. They're in love. Right. Now ears. Floppy ears. There you are. Floppy ear on that side, floppy ear, and then the inside there's all ears all over the place. The ears are interlocked. So that's definitely, these are definitely rabbits, aren't they? Couldn't be anything else. Floppy ear. Yeah? These are better. These look like they're sitting under an umbrella. Well, there's a thought. So you could put a little girl sitting under the tree, couldn't you? It's entirely up to you. Should we put a little bit of grass in? Right, a little bit of grass. Flick, flick, flick. Along here. There you go, and it's just the season. And now we're going to add some leaves and it's just all starting to break open. Here we are. So let's add some leaves. How are you doing? Are you done all this already? Have you? Well, this is going to be our template, isn't it? For when we do our centerpiece. Eh? Let's do a bit of that around here, make it a little bit rougher. Right, leaves, go. Leaves and buds. Do you remember when we first started this, we used to, when we first started doodling, we always said if you wanted to make something look really delicate, you just make little dots. Right, let's do a few more leaves and then we'll get some dots in because it makes it look delicate and fresh. Let's do a line there. So we'll get the leaves in. Take your time when you're doing this and build it up. Just do little stalks with a pair of leaves or 3 leaves. Not tea leaves, 3 leaves. There you go. There's a leaf on there. This is breaking open a bit. It looks more like a toucan. Hang on. This is going to be so beautiful. You've got to imagine it. I mean, I'll have to work on his ears a little bit. You have to imagine it inside the mandala, folks. Hey, It's going to be pretty. But I'm not going to rush it. So we've got 4 seasons and they take quite a long time, like 3 months. We won't take 3 months. Let's just put some leaves in. Now, let me, before I forget, 12 o'clock. Hang on, I wrote down the number of it as well. Excuse my arm. Number 26 of the Groovy downloads is, Stuart's going to download that at 12 o'clock today. So it's number 26. What a fantastic job Hazel Edwards is doing for us. It's so appreciated. And have you noticed they're getting a little bit more challenging and a little bit more, yeah, so it's lovely. You really, if you want to dip your toe in this sort of parchment world, in the parchment art world, then it's really a great way to learn things, isn't it? Right, now what I'm doing now is making a little ring, and then I'm putting in little, I don't know, little flowers, like just a little ring and then some dots around them. And you'll find it really just brightens the whole thing up. They don't even have to be attached. They're just like little floating flowers, but they make such a difference. See? Pretty. So we're trying to conjure up, we're trying to create spring, aren't we? So we've got the little chicks, got Mum and Dad here. We're going to put these little, just sweet, that's what it is. It's sweet. The key is the shape of the tree. And then we can put little dots in, do you remember? I don't think it has to be difficult. It doesn't, we don't have to, it just has to be a pleasure to do, okay? There we go, dots. Just little dots here and there, dots in here, see? A couple of leaves within the tree, that works too. Hey? I like. That's spring sorted. I could titivate for hours. We all could, couldn't we? Hey? So that's what we do, isn't it? Just keep going, fiddling around. And all we're doing here is drawing the template for when we flip it. So remember that. We might have to flip it twice to get it back to this way round, because we're drawing it from, yeah, it depends which way you want the tree to. Depends where you're standing in the field. If you're standing in the field, be the other way around. Stretch, stretch. Yeah. What's the time? It's only 5:30. It's all right. I was thinking, see, we could do these, we could do the seasons, and we could think about the seasons. So I think it's worth thinking about. You know, we've been saying for months and months now, we need to slow down and calm down, you know. And the seasons are rolling by, aren't they? It's my mum's birthday, like Jim says. Now we're walking into the darkness. And I don't mean walking into the darkness, I mean the winter seasons, you know, it's dark when you wake up, it's dark when you go home from work, you know. It's just, the days are shorter and the nights are longer. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. It is what it is. It's called the seasons. But with these changing weather patterns that we've got at the moment, everything's a little bit off whack too, isn't it? You know? So let's have a look here. What have we got? I was thinking that what we could do is, so we've got a little spring image now, right? So when we put our lovely mandala to that, look, wow, see? And it sits in there perfectly. But we wouldn't use all of the mandala, or maybe we would, but it sits in there like a treat, you see? And you can use the rabbits or not use the rabbits. The trick is you've got the tree, right? So we've done that spring tree, yeah? And now we've done the spring one. Let's have a look at the summer one. See, that's a little bit different. Let me just grab my summer one, because that one changes again. Yeah, now. So the summer one, you ready to do the summer one? The summer one, it has to be drawn differently. So if you got ahead and did 4 trees, you might just want to grab a piece of tracing paper and start again on the summer one, because it's true, isn't it? When you look at the tree, you can't see the trunks, well, you see the trunks, but you can't see the branches, because they're all hidden, aren't they? So this one, we're going to really, if you think about summer, it's a lot, it's lush, isn't it? It's like, well, it's supposed to be. There you go. So we'll just line up again. We'll use a bit of masking tape to hold it in place. Are we happy doing this? Yeah? Are we all right? Yeah, come on. And I thought we'd stay with this for a few days. We'll stay with this for a few days. We'll think about the seasons. We'll think about them. We won't gallop through them, you know. It's not a race. We're not going anywhere. We can think about, and what was interesting when I was thinking about the spring, it's like I was transported back to the spring, you know. This spring was really a weird one, wasn't it? I mean, the weather patterns are changing, you know, for sure. We had a really, really warm phase. It was pouring with rain. Do you remember Dennis and all that? All Dennis and George and the big storms that we had. So the ground was sodden, wasn't it? Saturated, a lot of flooding. Then we had a really, really, like, the springtime was really warm, wasn't it? Like hot. So the summer becomes the spring, and it seems to be shifting like this, doesn't it? That and, yeah, climate change, global warming, you know. Anybody who thinks it doesn't exist needs to think again. So let's have a look now at summer. Let's enjoy this one. And we're going to sharpen our pencil, HB pencil. Yeah, it's only a little tiny thing, isn't it? But this time, what we're going to do, you see, is we're going to put the tree's still there. It's still there. When I did this, let me explain. When I did this, I took spring, right? And I put the spring underneath here. I'll show you. So I had the tree in place. I had the tree, but then I filled the tree with leaves before I put the branches in. So you'd need a tree underneath, a naked tree underneath, and that's what's going to give you your, yeah? That's what's going to give you your, where's my naked tree? I had a naked tree. Hang on a minute. I've got so many blooming trees on the go here. Let me take the winter one. The winter one's as naked as it gets, isn't it? Because it's got nothing on it. That'll do. Right, see? So that's what I'm trying to explain, because I've got one that's already done, which is not much good for you because you wouldn't know where to start. That's what I'm trying to say. So if I've got the tree like that, I've got the circle. Right, we're on it now. I've got the circle, and I've got a naked tree, say, right? And I can see where where the tree is going to be. But you see, what I want to do is put flowers in front of the tree and leaves in front of the branches. So I've got to put them in first. That's my, does that make sense? It does to me. So what we'll do is, you see, now we'll take this tree and we'll just start by adding leaves. So we can see where the branches are, but we're just going to start adding leaves, lots of them. Just fill the whole area with leaves, right? So you'll see you can put them at the end of the branches. Just keep filling the whole area. So you've got a naked tree in the background. Winter's a good one for that. If you must have a naked tree. If not, make one, eh? But the thing is, unlike spring, where we had the tree and then we attached the blossoms and we put everything to it, on this one, we're filling it first. Right, so just little tiny leaves everywhere. Don't worry about the branches. We put them in afterwards, you see. You do kind of use the branches as a guide, because obviously they are there for a reason. I didn't even put a little bird in this one. This little piece here, if you've got that in your tree, is really handy if you want to add a squirrel, if you're feeling ambitious. I decided to just keep it simple. Keep it simple. I thought there was enough detail going on in the mandalas. See, and then I can come down a bit. Here we go. So I can really It's just lovely. Just calm it down, calm down, slow down. Here we go. Little leaves everywhere. Every now and again you need to, so you can't see, it's just a load of leaves, there's no structure because the tree is on the underlay. Underlay. But that's the way it has to be for this to work when you're drawing it. This is the brilliant thing, you see, I find, about tracing paper. Such a simple little thing, but it's enough work, look. See? So you're using the underlay, one underneath, the underlayer, if you like. There, we don't need a bird in there on this one. He's off flying away somewhere. See? So you just add your leaves, loads and loads of little leaves. Can we see this all right? Yeah. Just add leaves. And then yeah, be nice when it's done. Do little leaves, do big leaves. You put apples in, you make it into an apple tree if you choose. Couldn't you? Make apples. You put a ladder in, that'd be lovely. I've actually drawn that somewhere on a stamp. I can't think where it is. I did actually draw something with apple trees and a ladder propped up. That looks very nice too. Right, how many leaves have I got in there now? Just lift it away. Not bad. See? So we've got lots of leaves and they're in front of the, here we go, we've got to go in front of this as well a little bit, haven't we? Let's get some leaves going here. That's it. Can always add more in a minute. See if this worked. It's a little trick. Right, so now I've got all the leaves in as much as I want for the moment. And now I need to put the flowers in. Because you see the flowers are in front of the tree. They're what makes it look so lush. So let's put some big flowers in here. I'm gonna do big, like big, bold daisy type flowers like that. Just because it's nice. They look good. Big circles in the middle. You have to kind of get over the background. If you're using a naked tree, it's easier than what I'm doing. But yeah, I just need the shape, you see. Here we go. There's another one in. Let's have a look what I've got. See? Put another one in. Whatever you want to put in front of the tree, you've got to do it before you put the trunk in, see? So there you go. So I've got a few little flowers now. That'll do. I don't want to lose the fence altogether. So there's going to be no fence here in a minute. Right. I haven't lost you yet, have I? But you see what I mean about layers. So it's easier if you haven't got a tree to start with. You put the leaves in, put the flowers in, and now now you're going to start putting the background in, you know, layer on layer. So it's another little trick really, isn't it? It's either that or you've got to rub everything out, which is not so easy. Right, just sharpen the pencil. And now what I'm going to do, now I'm happy with all my little leaves. I mean, I should have taken a little bit more time. They look like they've been thrown at the tree, not grown on the tree. Can you see it all right though? So now what we'll do is, we're going to go with now we're putting the actual tree in, and now it will start to come together. Okay, so in goes the tree. And then I think I'm going to put let's do the tree first. Tree in, and every time I come to a leaf, I've got to stop and go behind it, see? That's how it works. So you just go through, add little twigs, branches. I put a lot more leaves on my original tree, but I could do more in a minute. Right, there you go. Round we go. Add the branches. It creates a fullness if you do it this way around, you see. More leaves. round we go. And when you do this in pen, it'll be brilliant. And you won't have to think about what's at the front and what's at the back. More leaves. There we go. I'll just clear a space here. Just chill a bit. So I was reading an article in a newspaper online about the price of bread, you know, because of the weather patterns and because the farmer, I mean, Dave says farmers never happy with the weather. It's never perfect for a farmer. If it's either too hot or too windy or it's too wet, or you know, there's always something. A farmer's life is not an easy one, is it? Hey, especially with these changing weather patterns. But anyway, so I was reading this article, and apparently they've had such a dreadful season. I mean, we don't think about it, do we? But they've had such a dreadful year of it, that the wheat crop has failed basically. It's down by 40-odd%, which is shocking for them. So they're afraid now that the price of flour is going to go up. It's all going to start increasing, and I mean, they got a triple whammy of severe weather, really, didn't they? Because do you remember last autumn? It was really wet. Do you remember? Like flooding. Do you remember the flooding last autumn? So the ground got really waterlogged. Let's make sure I've got the... So the ground got really waterlogged. And that obviously, that made it really difficult for the farmers to sow their crops. That was the first problem. And then it was wet again in February. Really bad flooding. That was when Dennis and George and all those big tropical storms hit. So now let's have a look. Let's get this fence in. So then the ground was just waterlogged again. Then we had a really, really hot spring, didn't we? Like unseasonably hot. Do you remember we kept saying, oh, it's unseasonably hot? That was when lockdown, when that started and everybody was on furlough. You could tell he was on furlough because they were all lovely and tanned. Right, let's have a look what we've got now. Yeah, but for the farmers, that was no good because then the ground was bone dry and the crops couldn't get any nutrients out of the ground. There you are, you see. So it looks much better when you start to... This looks good, doesn't it? So now I've done that and I've got the tree in place, I'm going to work without the spring in the background. See, I don't need that now, it's just confusing winter in the background. So now I've got my leaves in place. Now I can fill and make it all lovely and bushy and beautiful, see? Yeah? Yeah, so rain, 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 then really, really hot. So the ground got as hard as a rock, and then, of course, that didn't help. Yeah. So it's rubbish, really. And the upshot of it is that bread's going to get more expensive. That was the bottom line. I mean, yeah. There you go, though. I've been meaning to give up bread. I need to lay off the carbs. That's the bottom line. And not because it's more expensive. It's rubbish. But, yeah, I feel sorry for the farmers. Can't be easy, can it? Changing times, my friends. You had a nice, bushy... God, we can get a really nice... Don't you like sitting under a tree in the summer, in the shade? Do you remember? Hey? That's a nice thing to do, isn't it? Now, what should we do with this big area here? Well, let's add some leaves in front of it for a start, Barbara. This would be good. Just going to fill it up so it's just lush. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was so hot, wasn't it? Do you remember that poor little rowan tree in the garden? It's got sunburnt. Still looking a bit, yeah, still not looking great. Dave's optimistic. He reckons it's going to live. I don't know. The jury's out. It doesn't look too well. But they're resilient little things, aren't they? Hey? Right, and then the middle, I think I'm going to stipple the inside of the flowers. That'll look good. Hey? Give it a bit more depth. Otherwise you can't really see them. They just sort of disappear, don't they? This is going to look fantastic when we shade it all. Right, so we've got the tree. Yeah? Done that. And then all we've got now to make it summery is these little things. I'll practice them to get the right size. See, the little bales. I needed to make them look like bales. So they're like round. We're using round bales, okay? The farmers managed to get a little bit in. Because that was the other thing. Then it poured with rain, and then they couldn't bring it in. They couldn't bring the crop in. Right, that looks good. So they're going to be smaller further away, aren't they? See? Further smaller away, clearly. Make sense? Yeah. So they're going to be really dinky up the top, and then down the front they're going to be a little bit bigger. That'll work. See what I did there? They're a little bit big up the back. Right. Okay. Start at the front. And this is if you want to do bales. They look like little sausages. There you go. Let's do the little dinky one at the back. Like a little tiny thing. Probably can't even see what it is, look. Perspective. Hey, much better than that one. That one, you couldn't get it on a tractor. If that's real, you won't be able to move it off the ground. There you go. And then down the front, we'll make them a bit bigger. How's that? Doesn't that look pretty? Something very ethereal about this. I like. Right, and then we'll add a little bit of grass. There you go, just flick a little bit of grass along that edge. Nice, hey? Shady spot under a tree. Wouldn't that be lovely? A shady spot under a tree. Let's get a bit of grass going behind the flowers as well. There you go, just a little flick. And then it looks really lush, look lovely, hey? Now, if that's not, let's compare. This is what I like doing. So let's have a look. Where's spring gone? Oh, spring. Where did spring go? Here it is. Right, so there's spring. I need a bit of white paper. There's spring first. Yeah? And then there's summer next. Clearly, same tree, isn't it? But different season. I like that a lot, don't you? And yeah, so let's have a look what that's going to look like. The summer one, if we put it, let's get rid of the winter one on the back so you can see it better. That's more like it. Right, so we've done, I like summer. I think that's my favourite so far. Right, and then you take your mandala, you put that in the background. Actually, see if it looks like that's better. Look, centerpiece, center stage. Doesn't that look cool? Summer, I love it. That's summer. And then that's spring. Needs a bit more. I don't know though. Spring's like that, isn't it? As I remember it, eh? And then we've got autumn and we've got winter. So what's the time? It's 10:02. Autumn and winter. We've got time for one more. Can we do? What should we do next? Autumn or winter? Should we roll it into autumn? Or should we do autumn and winter on Monday? Should we have a little think about it? Why don't we do that? I tell you what, right? We've done spring and we've done summer. So when you do autumn, that one, that's where, again, the tree, you put all the leaves in first. So we could do autumn, let's do autumn and winter. Gives me a chance to have another look at those mushrooms. I wasn't too thrilled with those. They look very ropey. Look like somebody had dropped a cigarette on the ground. I'll have another little peep at those. But I tell you what I did want to do is show you, yeah, that'll do for today. Come on, it's not a race. You've got to kind of tone it down a bit, just calm it down, you know. We're all racing, aren't we? Everywhere. Just tear-assing around all the time. Let's stop for a minute. So we're doing these lovely little scenes. They'd be lovely embroidered as well, wouldn't they, if I was an embroiderer. Like nice little stamps. And on the subject of stamps, I want to show you. I don't know if you watch the telly. We're talking about seasons, right? On the telly the other day, I did, what have we got here? Oh, it's gone all furry. Let's have a look. Let's go back to that one and let's see what happened there. Doesn't want to play, does it? Hey, there it is. Right. So this is a very appropriate, this too shall pass. How many times have I said that in here? God. But the nice thing about these trees is that when we made these stamps, these are for those of you who are not stampers or not from Clarity World, right? We made these stamps, but we made them, the trees, but with mantles. So in other words, we split the foliage from the stamps. I really like this idea, look. See, so if you look at the stamp, the image of the stamp, you can see this sits on there, which is really cool, right? So from a season's point of view, which is what we're talking about here, look, you've got winter, then you've got spring, depending on what colours, you've got fall, depending on what colours. It completely changes depending on the colours you use and also which trees. So, for example, this is, I would say, this is definitely a summery scene, isn't it? Spring, summer, don't you think? But then, for example, look at this one. So this, I did it on this one here, right? That's done just using the naked tree. See this one there? So I used the naked tree like that, and that one there. You get it. It's so easy. And then I put a bit of torn paper. See, all you do is take a piece of torn paper and hold it there, so that then, look, I'll show you. If I take a bit of torn paper, you go like that, right? And then when you hold it like so, then when you plant the tree over the top, that bit stays behind the paper. That's how you get the effect of snow here, you see. So that was pretty cool. And what I love about these is that they encapsulate they encapsulate all the seasons. It just depends what colours you use, you know. So what's the time? It's 5:02. Do you know what? I'm going to do a little 2-minute. Let me show you how they work, right? Because I think I want to stop. Otherwise, we're going to rush autumn, and that's why my toadstools look ropey, because I was rushing, right? So let me just get a bit of paper. I'm winging this, but I want to show you because these are cool. Right, a bit of white copy paper. I'll get the tree. I've got the trees. Right, these ink pads will do. These are good. Look, you need some sort of coloured ink pads. These are permanent. They're nice. Little archivals. I need a brown one for the trunk. So I'll use that one for the trunk. Let me just grab the, where is the trunk? You know, my demo could just, here it is. There you go. There's the demo. There's the trunk. So I've got that for that. And then I've got a green, which is useful. But look, what else have I got here? I've got a yellow. That'll be quite nice. So you see how you can change the colours? Look, I'll show you. This is how easy it is. So if I'll ink up I just ink it up, right? I just have to press on the flat of the stamp. Right, that's it. So I've got that, and then I will pop that stamp onto the white card. That's it, sorted, right? So now, this is winter. Wouldn't that be, you could so easily just that's it now. You put that in a round, but you can see, if you stare at the tree, you can see how exactly what we were doing, how the branches, they go into little V's, little Y's, they just keep going off and off and off, you see? And that's really what we drew, isn't it? That's what we did in the centre. Now let me take the mantle on this one, right? And let me take a bit of green. So I'm not going to add a lot of green though. I'm deliberately, look, I'm just really lightly, not much. I don't want it solid. I just want a little bit of green. That'll do. Let's see, if it's not enough, I can go back over it, can't I? So let's just have a look. So I can look through the stamp, see, and I can see exactly, this is why it's called trees and their mantles. So I can hover about a little bit until I'm happy with the position, and then I can press it down. And there should be now some green on the tree. There you go. See? And now, because I did it really, really lightly, it's really just only around the edge, which is great, isn't it? I mean, this is the seasons. This is what we're talking about. So let's pretend, let's do a little bit of yellow. I don't know, I might mess it up now, but it's only a bit of scrap. What does it matter? See, now I'll go in with a bit of yellow. What yellow is this? Sunflower. Okay, well, let's brighten it up, see what happens. So I'll go over again, over the same area, but I've only put a bit of yellow in the middle now. See what happens. Ah, so looky. See how it blends in? I love this. I love it. Check it out. See? Wait till it sharpens up. So by just tapping the green, you get that lovely on the outside. Isn't that cool? See, and then the other thing is, with these stamps, because the mantles, because of the way Jim's drawn them, right, if I wanted to do a hedgerow, like in our picture that we're drawing, where's that bit of torn paper I just had? Didn't I just tear a bit of paper to show you? I'm pretty sure I did. Oh, well, there is a solution in that one. How is that possible, people? Hey? Right, let's tear another bit of paper then. So let's say, for example, that's the hill now that the tree's standing on. See, I can take the edge of the stamp. See, like that. Just take the edge of the stamp like that. And I can use that to make a hedgerow. Look, watch. If I press that in there, see how I can make a hedgerow with it? Second ink is always more faded. This is called second generation. See? So the mantles, they work brilliantly. I hope this is all right, me doing this, but I just wanted to use the time, but get you to think about trees and get you to think about the trees and their mantles and how you can use them in springtime. And I'd like to stay with the seasons, you know, because the truth of the matter is, here we are, safe, happy and creative. And it's like the world is going past us. The seasons don't stop though. We're sitting there and it's like it's happening. And we're not getting out there, we're just in our gardens, which is where we need to be right now. But that's, you remember when earlier on in the SHAC, we went to Africa and we still had that wanderlust, didn't we? We wanted to go to Africa and New Mexico and we were traveling. And don't you feel now, I don't know, I can only speak for myself, but for me now, I feel that I don't want to travel at the moment. I want to stay at home. Is it only me? I have no intention of going anywhere. I don't even want to go beyond my little kingdom here, you know? And but that doesn't mean that I can't still think about nature and about the seasons and about the changing colours, the changing colours. So what I'd like to do is love you and leave you with this little project, and then on Monday we'll go again and we'll go to autumn and we'll do winter, and then on Wednesday we'll start the transfer and we'll create a beautiful masterpiece and we'll convert and we'll ink up and we'll do all that. There's no rush. That's what we're going to do. If you fancy that, I think that would be brilliant, because I'm really, I want to stay here right now. I want to stay right here with the seasons. So I hope you'll join me. Lots of love. Stuart, thank you for all your help. Don't forget to ask Stuart for the digi-downloads and what have you. Other than that, have a great weekend, have a safe weekend, and keep your legs in the air. I like that exercise, that works for me. And I'll see you on Monday at 10 o'clock. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.